This is the grave of Marsena Collester and his sister, Caroline, and they are my ancestors. I'm really happy with how nice their stone cleaned up. Marsena was born in 1795 and Caroline in 1803 to James and Abigail Collester in what was the brand new town of Madison Center, New York. Their father was one of the first European settlers to this area, having been given almost 2,000 acres to settle here as part of his pension for fighting in the Revolutionary War. Their parents traveled here by ox cart from Westerntown, Massachusetts, which eventually changed its name to Warren, Massachusetts. They built a small log cabin not far from where the cemetery is and would eventually clear the land for farming. Later on, the road near their house became known as the Shenango Turnpike, which was the main highway from Utica to the southern tier of New York State. They would later build a farmhouse where both of them were raised and added a wing to the house that became known as the Bull's Head Tavern, which was a pretty popular place for travelers to stay, including General Erastus Cleveland, who liked the town so much he eventually built a house here. Like several historic structures in this area, the Bull's Head Tavern was moved to what is now the Americana Village in Hamilton, New York in 1969. I'll show what it looks like today, but 6 generations of Collesters lived in the house before it was moved. Marsena and Caroline had an older brother who was known as Dr. Sam, who was my 4th great-grandfather. Marsena and Sam enlisted to fight in the War of 1812 when Marsena was just 17 years old, and he was a military musician who played the drum for the 129th Regiment. After the war, Marsena became a farmer, and the details were a little sketchy on ancestry, and even after looking at old family Bible records, but I don't think that Marsena or Caroline got married, nor did they have any children. But according to census records, they did have their nephews and their families living with them for a time after he inherited the farmhouse and tavern. Marsena passed away in 1864 when he was 69 years old, and his sister Caroline followed him 12 years later at age 74.